Hi everybody, welcome to this episode of the Kaz. In this episode, I am going to try to make a bat box. The area that I live in, it's near the Hudson River, and gets a little swampy down by the river here. Not many vans down by the river here, but or motivational speakers. But we do have plenty of mosquitoes. So one thing I think I would like to do to get rid of them is to attract some bats. And to do that, I'm going to be making a bat box out of these 3 shutters. So I think my parents got these at an auction one time, and they were probably going to do something with them, probably something artistic or rustic with them, since my dad has a rustic furniture gallery. But they never did, and so I asked them if I could have these to make one. The reason being is that they have shutters on their house, plastic shutters, and every year they get bats behind them. So I figured, oh, why not use these to make a makeshift bat box. So I have 3 shutters here. They're pretty nice. There's paint peeling off of this one, but it looks like it's latex paint. Shouldn't be too bad for any bats. I'm not worried about their health as far as this goes. Looks like there may be some lead paint on this, but I think they'll be okay. I'm not really worried about that. I just wanted these to be very rough hewn for them to grip onto, because I know they can't really be on anything smooth, or else they can't grip on them with their little teeny tiny claws. But these are really old. I mean, really old. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe, I'm not even sure if these go back to the 1800s, maybe the 1900s. One neat thing about these is that they do have some hardware on them. So I got some, looks like some sort of hinge there that was painted over many times over the years. Let me lay them out and show you what I plan on doing with this. So this first one here is the longest. It's about 65 inches tall, long, whatever. And they're all about 15 inches wide. This next one is a little shorter. It's about 62.5 inches long by 15 inches wide. Now this last one, I think it's just short of the second one, but this is just short of 62 inches, about 61 3/4 inches long by 15 inches wide. So they're all 15 inches wide. What I'm doing here, since I'm going to enclose it, I'm going to enclose the front and the back to keep any sort of coldness out and to keep any breeze out for them. I'm having this relatively flat side. It doesn't have the piece of wood there, the little handle to open it up, so I'm keeping those on the inside, so there'll be a little more grip for them. Plus it'll give a bit of a spacer for when I do nail it together. Give it a bit of a spacer. I am going to put some wood in between there as a spacer too. Nail some in there, but let me show you what I'm going to do as far as a roof goes. So what I did is I pretty much made the bottom flush here, and to show you that each one of these is a different height, so that I can put a slanted roof in there to keep any snow or rain from going inside and from coming down, so it doesn't rot whatever wood I have on there as a roof. So as you can see here, the hardware is creating a natural spacer in between them. It's about an inch. It's about an inch spacer, so I'm going to have to put that one inside to make a spacer to give the little bats some room to crawl around in. So they need about a 1/2 inch to an inch. Some of these bat websites that I've seen, these bat box making websites, they get very technical. They say they must be this, or they will all die, or something will crawl up in there and eat them all and they will all die. If that's enough, then that's enough for them. If not, then I won't. Honestly, I won't have any. So that's just the way it is. But let me get some wood here, cut some wood, and nail some in there so that this all comes together. I'll sandwich them in here. Okay, so I have basically an old 2x6 here. Anybody who's ever worked with lumber before knows that it's not truly a 2x6. And it's basically a 1.5 by 5.5. So they pretty much gyp you at the lumber yards. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut 1 inch lengths of these. Do about 12 of them, so I can put them, sandwich them as spacers in between the shutters. Okay, so I just used a circular saw to cut a little pile of these spacers here. So let's go space out these shutters. Okay, let's see how these spacers work. So, a little bit of rot here in this one. So, I'll see about, I think the spacer will help it stay together, maybe. I'm positive, especially with this guy. But I think with this guy, once I put something on the top here, I think that'll keep that together. But we'll see. So, this spacer, go down here. That's just hitting that hardware there. Just hitting this. So, I'm going to put something on the side here anyway. So, to cover that up. So, that's okay. So, that's okay if that doesn't line up exactly. But, and then here, that's pretty good. Just need to do, I cut out 12. 6 for each level here. So, okay, so I got some 1 5/8 inch exterior screws that I have here. And I have a bunch. So, I might as well just use them up, and I'll go in from one way to put the piece of pine in, and then I'll go in through the other way. Okay, so I screwed in all the spacers there, and so I'm going to put the smallest of the 3 down on top and screw that in to the spacers. Okay, so I have all 6 spacers in between the smallest one and the middle one. So the baby bear and the mama bear. So I'm going to turn them over here. And so this would be the middle inside here. So what I'm going to screw these in here, and they go in through the back of the papa bear, the biggest one, to screw them all in together, attach them all. Okay, so they're all screwed in there. So now finally, I'm going to put on the biggest piece here and position it, make it flush, and screw that in there. Got the sandwich shutters here. Now this will be covered up with something. I think I'm going to get some flooring from Ollie's. Ollie's sells some flooring, discount flooring that I'll probably just put over this and spray paint it black. And I'll put a roof here. As you can see, it's the taller one, the middle one, and the short one. They gradually go down. So I'll put some sort of roof on here. Not sure how. Maybe it'll just come straight down, but anyway, something will be made for this, and it's just a matter of probably just putting it up on a very large, not necessarily large, but a long pole out in the backyard there. The Hudson River is about maybe 200 feet over that way, but it's pretty swampy between here and, or it can get swampy between here, those woods there, and the feeder canal that's over there. But that's it basically. So it's taken me a while to get to this, but I finally did. I'm glad I did this weekend in November. It's was it November 7th today, 2021. So I'll probably this Friday I'll go to Ollie's and get that flooring to put over this. And then it's just a matter of spray painting it black and putting a little bat symbol that my Mini Kaz, my little man, drew for me. So I went to Ollie's, got some flooring, cost about $21. I'll be using this for the exterior of the bat box, just to close everything in. I got one box which covers approximately 32 feet. Hopefully that'll work. If not, I can always get another box. Now I know this being flooring, it's not for exterior use, so I'm going to spray paint and do some caulking and hopefully seal it up pretty good. Good enough so that it won't warp or split or do whatever it would do if it was exposed to moisture. Okay, so now I have it all boxed up. Next is sanding all 4 sides all the sides are boxed up except for the bottom and the top. The top I'll put a little roof on, and the bottom obviously has to stay open. Next is sanding the corners to get them flush. So after I sanded the corners, I covered the corners and any cracks here, like that, any seams, with this type of sealant tape that you can get at a Walmart or any hardware store. No, sir, I don't like it. That's what I wanted to see. So I nailed a roof on. I put the slats that I had on the front here along the side and here to close it up. And one last thing I have to do is have my little man, the mini Kaz, put his little drawing on. So he drew on a piece of paper. I laminated it with packing tape, put it on a board here that I spray painted, then shellacked it, put preserved sealant on it, and that's basically it. So now we're going to screw it onto the front here. Yep, and that's it.
Oh.
You got it. So I got some about 12 to 14 inch bolts and some nuts and some washers, drilled 3 holes in, and hammered them in through the holes. And there it is. I got a 4x4x10 planted in the backyard here. Dug about a 2-foot hole. Had the mini Kaz help me dig it out with a post hole digger. And so that's about 2 feet down and about 8 feet up. That's the bat box there. I attached it with some bolts, some lag bolts and some washers and some nuts there. I mean, since this wasn't perfect and measured exactly, I did have to put some spacers in there because the bolts came a little too far. The threads only come down to about here, and so I need to put some spacers in here. I put some foam in there, 3 layers of foam. But that's the side of it there. Here's the bottom, and what it looks like up inside there. And there's the little drawing that the mini Kaz did. And it's not pretty, but I wasn't really going for it to look pretty. I was going for more of a rustic look. That's why I took all the flooring that I initially put on here. That's why I ripped it all off. To seal the sides, instead of having it basically airtight, I cut the flooring pieces that I had on the front here. I cut them and I sandwiched 3 of them here, on each side there, so that there's a little bit of protection for them if they stay the winter, and so it's not all open on the sides there. So that you have some openings on the side, but the top has a little roof on it, and the bottom's all open for them to crawl up into. Because I really wanted to show the hardware here, the hinges at the top there and at the bottom, and show the slats. I really wanted to show the slats, But that's my bat box. Took me 2 seasons. Started it at the end of fall of 2021, and I finished it this spring now of 2022. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to this episode of the Kaz channel. Please like and subscribe. Go to archangelproductions.org to watch more episodes of the Kaz channel, Mini Kaz, and check out the Mini Kaz's CEC Upstate site for his Chuck E. Cheese and animatronic themed page. Thanks for coming again. Go get some signed DVDs of my movies and my DVDs in the Archangel Productions merchandise page, and get some enamel pins in our Etsy shop. That's it for now. Thanks for coming. Bye.